Part of the reason that it's difficult to learn about the Foxglove Pact is that it's a somewhat obscure topic from an ancient sect of a nearly dead culture. And part of the reason is because once you do find information, it's very hard to discern fact from folklore. There are many different stories about the Pact, woven into campfire stories, bedtime fables, and fairy tales alike. It's one of dozens of mysterious and mystical truces whispered in stories throughout the swamps. Blimadil has many stray portals, which results in many wayward fae who are happy to mingle and negotiate with their hosts. Over time, however, parts of the stories about the Foxglove Pact begin to echo with each other, and consistent ideas emerge that seem to point to a common and presumably true origin story. The Foxglove Pact was an arrangement brokered thousands of years ago between three factions: the Fae, the Echo Fae, and an ancient sect of shamans and animists that evolved over time into what is now known as the Spirit Weavers. Specifically, the Spirit Weavers of the Afixi nations, which were all but eradicated by Cyrlin during the Golden Wars 300 years ago. As the story goes, the Echo Fae suddenly appeared from the rifts in the mountains in what is now known as Blimadil. They resembled the Fae in many ways, but were twisted, colorless, and morose, almost as if someone had stuffed the denizens of the Feywild into the Shadowfell and pulled them out the other side. The Echo Fae claimed that they were facing some sort of apocalyptic extinction event, and that their continued survival hinged upon the cooperation of societies in both the Feywild and the material plane. To complicate matters, the Echo Fae were very cloistered and unhelpful when the Spirit Weavers tried to learn more about their plight, insisting that secrecy and obfuscation were pivotal to their survival. The Echo Fae claimed that if the Fae and Spirit Weavers would not help, ruin would befall their worlds as well, although there are conflicting stories about whether this was merely a warning of natural consequences or a threat that the Echo Fae would cause problems themselves. Eventually, the pact was sealed, and the Echo Fae returned to their plane, emerging only occasionally. One critical component of the pact is the careful maintenance of 13 key locations throughout the wildlands, especially within Blimadil. These sites are collectively known as the Old Growth, and they're usually heavily shrouded by illusion and wards and other magical protections to prevent them from being disturbed. A few stories suggest that there may be some surviving trace of the ancient line of Spirit Weavers who first brokered the pact, and that they still maintain one of the Old Growth sites, located on the island of Regalwater, one of the only Afixi territories that was not claimed by Cyrlin during the Golden Wars. At least a few of the stories tell of Echo Fae who opposed the pact for unknown reasons.